These are not people you'd hang out with. These aren't people you'd break bread with. These aren't people who will enrich your life. So just block them. Block them.
Kate Hudson is not here for the haters. The 44-year-old actress took to TikTok to share some of her candid thoughts on trolls, following her brother Oliver Hudson's recent viral out-of-context comments from the siblings' podcast regarding their mother Goldie Hawn and childhood, which made headlines last month. Due to the media attention, the siblings addressed the comments together in a later episode in which Oliver clarified what he meant.
If you listen to the whole thing, it's more about sort of my child feelings in that moment rather than me and how I feel about mom as a parent. I don't know who I would be without my mother. I mean, I really can't even fathom it.
Now Kate is further speaking out.
Random thought. As I sit here and put on a little makeup refresher. I had a podcast with my brother. We have a podcast called Sibling Revelry. He was talking about how, he's afraid to say anything because he feels like things get picked up negatively and da-da-da. And I was like, who cares? And then I really started thinking about it. And I'm like, well, people do care, actually. Like, it's not nice when people take something out of context or they look at something you're doing and then they get all negative about it and they poke at it and they scrutinize it and they criticize it.
Kate continued to reflect on trolls and brought up what she's learned about them from being in the public eye.
And then I started thinking about people who live in that, like myself or any kind of celebrity, where you kind of have to get used to it because people are such, can be so mean. You kind of get used to it. And then you kind of realize that a lot of those people don't really exist. Like, you go on and you're like, wow, who's this person being so mean to me on here? And then you go on there and they have 0 followers and they have 0 posts and you're like, oh, it's a Finsta. It's either a troll or it's someone, they don't even exist. It's like, or someone's like actually legitimately trying to make you feel or look bad. And then when you really break that down, you're like, my God, the amount of energy it takes for someone to shit on someone else is not only exhausting, but not even worth giving any attention to. Now, as an adult, you're like, okay, I get that. But it's not just celebrities. It's not just someone. It's kids. People are doing this to other people, and kids are doing it to kids. And you're like, this is weird.
The Fabletics co-founder then shared a message to anyone who has been scrutinized.
Anyone who takes any second out of their day to be the person who is like, you should be ashamed of yourself, gross, cringe, anyone who goes on and comments on other people's bodies or hair or negatively, they need to look at their life and go, why am I behaving this way? And you know what? No, forget that. Scratch that. They don't need to look at their life. You, as the person that they're scrutinizing, need to remember that any person who's doing that is one of a couple things. 1, jealous. 2, not well. 3, incredibly and deeply unhappy. 4, did I say 1 of 2 things? I'm just going to keep going. 4, bored. Bored. And then 5, I'll just end with this one. They're even if they're kind of sane or whatever, they're definitely not the kind of person you'd be friends with. Like, let's be honest. You really want to be friends with the person who goes on other people's Instagrams and talks or TikToks or whatever? No.
As she continued to touch up her makeup, Kate revealed that she relayed this same advice to her brother.
So don't worry about it. And that's what I said to my brother today. I'm like, it doesn't matter. No one really cares. And those who are writing all that stuff and it's like loud and it feels bad and you think it feels bad, just remember what I'm saying. These are not people you'd hang out with. These aren't people you'd break bread with. These aren't people who will enrich your life. So just block them. Block them. block, delete, bye. And you know what? Block anyone who talks about anyone else too. Like if someone comes on your thing and says you're better than someone else, block them too. We don't like people like that.
The actress concluded her thoughts by telling those who watched the entire video that she appreciates them.
Anyway, that's my makeup, doing my makeup thought. I know a lot of people won't listen to this past, 3 seconds, but for those who hung out to hear my, me blabbing, I appreciate you. Peace.